Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Crooked Man. In the last episode, I traveled to a hospital that the former tenant of the apartments that David is living in has apparently had some kind of connection to, much like the last two places that he's been to before, those being the motel and the law school. And, well, during my latest search, I came across a little kid named Fluffy. Terrible name for a child, I know. And while trying to find the man again, I was also trying to help this kid find his mother, who seemed to have abandoned him there. I didn't have any luck with that. Instead, what I found was the Crooked Man again, and he decided to just be his usual dickish self towards both me and the little kid that was tagging along with me. So I had to fend him off a couple times, and, well, Fluffy, realizing that his mother wasn't coming for him, just decided to pretty much just leave David alone at the hospital. So we tried to leave too, and then, well, David was harassed by a vision of his mother, who provided a pretty shocking revelation about David, or at least what he's done, or at least the single worst thing that he's done in the past. And, well, that's pretty much just left things on a cliffhanger. And I'm pretty sure David's feeling pretty suicidal after everything that he's been through. So, given with the last line that he said in the last chapter. So yeah. So somebody's gonna need to stop by and stop him, snap him out of it, or do whatever it takes to save his sorry ass. Otherwise, our protagonist is probably not gonna be long for this world for too much longer. And I think that's pretty much everything. So let's just go ahead and get the next chapter started. Damn it. David hasn't answered a single call. What is he up to, and where? Paul, what did we do? I knew we shouldn't have left David alone. Marion, get a hold of yourself. Calm down. How can I be calm about this? David's so worn out from things with his mother and Shirley. He's even suffering over old wounds. I was always scared for him. Scared that he'd do something there was no turning back from. I suggested moving to get his mind clear, but that didn't help, and now did it. It wasn't a bad idea, but it was a mistake for me to pick that place. Huh? Damn it, I'll call again. If he doesn't answer, we're calling the police. What do you mean? Why would the room... Don't tell me ghost stories at a time like this. Always talking about how you see things and... See things, you say. Well, what do you see, Polly boy? Care to enlighten us? David? David, where are you? Central Hospital. Why are you way over there? Listen, I'm going there, so wait for me. Don't so much as move a muscle. Don't come. Please, don't. Leave me alone. David? Hey, David! Damn it. It'd take about a day to get to that place on my motorcycle. Marion, I'm going to see David. I'm going with you. David is my friend too. I can't just ignore him at a time like this. Alright, let's go. And here comes David and Marion on their probably cool motorcycle. Here to save the day. Or rather, save David from himself. David's car. He's got to still be here. Come on, Marion. It's dark, so stay close behind me. Right. It is dark out here. Were those footsteps? They were from upstairs. That you, David? I'm just going to go ahead and save here. Okay, can I go in? Okay, I can go in here. Oh, Davy, where are you? Are you anywhere close by? In here, or here, or here. Well, it was worth a shot. What about in here? Nope. Now, David, oh, hi. You're still here. Dead cat's stomach's been cut open. Oh, no. That's awful. You don't think David... Oh, come on. Why would he do something like that? Must have been some crazy dude. My God. Don't look, Marion. It's not good for your health. I know. The son of a bitch who did that is a real son of a bitch, aren't they? Makes you want to break their bones, huh? Okay, I think that's all I can see in here. Shadow person! Who's there? What are you doing here? There, excuse me. Sissy! What are you doing here? A girl? Hey, what are you doing in this old place? You hate sissies like me, don't you? Huh? But your friend is important to you, right? Hey, what the heck are you? What's this about? Go see him. So, Sissy, you know what's going on, so, care to explain why you're not going to help poor Mr. David? Man, what the hell was that? Well, it was a sissy woman who decided to act like a sissy woman, and rather than help someone who's clearly feeling suicidal, go tell someone else to do it in their stead. Because only sissies would do something like that. Oh, sissy. And after all the trouble I went through to help you find that memento of yours. Well, he's clearly not here, so... let's just go up to the rooftop where he's most likely going to be, if memory serves, if he's not down in the basement. I think I just need to go straight to the roof. Someone else? David? Hey! Who are you? D-bag! Yo! The hell? What are you doing here all alone? Hey, he's your friend, right? Go on and save him. Tell him the truth. Huh? The truth? What? I'm counting on you. Hey, D-bag, it'd be kind of impossible for David to come have drinks with you if he's dead. Just want to put that out there. What? Why are there so many people here? I don't get it. It's just 2 people, man. It's not that many. Oh, yeah, let's check down here. Well, he's clearly not here. Then it's up to the rooftop. There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. I'm definitely gotta be singing this off key. A kid? Don't tell me a kid's wandering here. He found a crooked 6pence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse. Kid, what are you doing? And they all lived together in a little crooked house. Hey! You listening to me? Obviously not, Paul. Then he had a crooked thought. Why is crookedness my lot? Why must I be crooked instead of being not? So the crooked man would cry, and he couldn't fathom why. He was sad all the time, and he sighed. And so he... David's waiting for you. Go see him. Hey! Fluffy, you make me want to throw a bone in your general direction in retaliation. Just to see if you could catch it with your mouth. Even though trying to catch it with your mouth like a dog is clearly not what you would be trying to do. Maybe your mouth would open in surprise here, and the bone would just so happen to land right in there. So, even if it's unintentional on your part, at least you would catch it. What was with him? Why didn't he know David? Did he meet him? Forget about it. Let's go, Marion. Marion? What's up? Stop it. Are you teasing me? Don't you know this isn't the time for that? Huh? Marion? What do you mean teasing you? Just who do you keep talking to? So, you being able to see things, and apparently you can see things that someone like Marion cannot. So, Sissy, Dee, and Fluffy all show up here in this one location after something big goes down with David. They all seem to act a bit strangely, and then they urge Paul to go find David, to go save him. It's at this point when I kind of put 2 and 2 together that Sissy, Dee, and Fluffy as well aren't exactly normal people by any stretch. Huh? Stop trying to spook me. I know there wouldn't be anyone here. We just need to find David. No jokes. So that's it, huh? Marion, go and leave the hospital. Sorry for a trying to spook you. Don't worry. I'll find David. Wait! I'm staying with you! If anything happened, I'd be putting us both in danger. Please, just trust me. Alright. Please, come back quickly. Right. Just wait for me, David. So, Paul, you can see things that other people cannot, and apparently it includes, you know, Sissy, Dee, and Fluffy. And apparently you saw some things off with the apartment as well, even though you wouldn't have let David move in there anyway. So, my big question to you is, did you actually see some of the paranormal shit in that apartment he moved into before David moved into it, and yet you let him move in there anyway? Which would explain your regret, which would explain the regret you were expressing earlier while trying to call him. In which case, Paul, it's your blunder that set this entire game, the events of this entire game, in motion. Thanks, friend. David, what are you doing out there? Yeah, now I remember. Memory refreshed. I think I'll be able to remember everything I need to do from here. Let's open this damn door. David. Paul? Why are you here? He told you were coming, genius. Weren't you paying attention to your last phone call? Came to pick you up. I'll ask for a good explanation later. For now, you're coming home. Forget about me. Just leave me alone. Hey, Dave, stay away! David, don't do it, man. David? You? I'm hopeless. I keep walking, but I see nothing. I'll never be happy. I'm a crooked man. No matter what, that's all I'll be. And those are the only things I'll have. Well, looks like you're being influenced by our crooked gentleman, Davy. David? What? That's... agony. Living is agony. Nothing will go how I want it. So right here, right now, David! So I got 3 options here to choose from, and only one of them will result in me being able to move the story forward. The other 2 result in a bad end. And, well, I remember exactly which option I need to pick in order to move the story forward. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to intentionally choose the wrong options and save the option that will move the story forward for last. And I'll give you a hint what it is. It is the option that has the least amount of common sense the least amount of common sense for this particular type of situation. If you don't understand what I mean, then, well, you'll understand soon enough once I go through the other 2. So, first off, persuade. was try to persuade you to not kill yourself. I know you've had it really rough. I'm your best bud, after all. I'm always trying to help you out. It might be hard now, but tides can change. Good things can still happen. No, I know they will. Whatever happens, I'll help you. So, shut up! Who do you think you are? You want to help me? Good things will happen. They never have! It was all for nothing! So David, stop! Don't say that! What's wrong with the graphics on this? Who are you? Huh? I don't know you. And you couldn't know me. The only one who understood me was him. David? You're... But I only realized in my last moments. Out of my sight. Hypocrite. David! Well, I failed. It's okay, Paul. I knew exactly what I was doing when I chose the option to persuade. David. I wonder if that bad end 3. Goodbye, my friend. I wonder if that graphical glitch might have something to do with the fact I'm playing this on Windows 10. Because I played this game a few years back on a Windows 7 computer, and I never encountered anything like that, any glitches like this before. So maybe that has something to do with it. Otherwise, I have no idea why it glitched out like that. Anyway, next option. Now, let's try to take the gun. Why, you? Why do you have a gun anyway? Give me that! Stop! Let go! Just leave me be! Afraid I can't do that, David. You're my... Stop! Huh? Paul! Did I just shoot you? I didn't. No. I really killed. No. David. Not your fault. I tried to grab the gun. It was all me. It's not your fault. David, you're not a bad guy. I'm sorry, Paul. Bad end number 4. Not your fault, David. Well, that one was even worse than the last one. Now for the option with the least amount of common sense in a situation when dealing with a suicidal person. Alright, here is the correct option that I hinted towards. Yeah! Ow! You damned monster! Get away from David! You go, Paul. Beat the shit out of him. Knock the evil right out of his dumb ass. And steal his shoes. Hey! Ow! Stop! Ow! Yeah! That hurts! Stop, you moron! David, you back with us? Don't say that like I went nuts. I've been insane from the start. Like hell. If that's the kind of thing you do sane, I'd have to beat you up till you promise not to. Now, about the stuff you've been doing. You better tell me everything that happened. Sissy, Dee, and Fluffy. And that crooked monster. Oh, so you believe in the monster? That's my occult fanatic. Well, you see, it's not exactly fanaticism. Don't I always tell you that I see it? You and Marion never believed me. Sheesh. Anyway, about Sissy, Dee, and the kiddo. I think I met him. Huh? That's ridiculous. Fluffy maybe, but Sissy and Dee wouldn't be here. Listen up, David. People's consciousness, they sort of stick around in places. More of your occult shtick? You seriously making fun of the occult after this? Just listen, and no jokes. He kind of has a point, David. I mean, after all the crazy shit you've been dealing with up until now, I'd become an instant convert into believing the occult if I were in your position. It's because how else would you explain all this stuff? Mass delusion or something? Well, yeah, mass delusion in this case, because Paul saw The Crooked Man and Sissy, D, and Fluffy, too. So you've had pretty similar to the guy who used to live in your room, right? Shattered dreams, bad breakup, family trouble. When I first looked at the place, it was fine. But once you moved in, I had this strange feeling. From you, and from the room. I'd have to guess the guy's consciousness and you were a perfect match. Gotta be why you wanted to meet the guy, too. Kindred spirits. So you're saying he's calling me? Yep. And you're unconsciously responding. Some people are soft-hearted to the core and always sympathize with others. And they get taken advantage of the most. Taken advantage of? Look, don't I barely know him? You know a little from the stuff that he left. Plus, that was all stuff you could identify with. So what would you think of a guy who's the spitting image of you? Would you hate him? Or like him? That's honestly a good question if you were to ask me personally that. I haven't really thought about it that much. I don't know. I'm guessing both. Same as him. Well, yeah, on second thought, I guess he would probably be a little bit of both for me too, because if they're the spitting image of me, then I would pretty much know the guy in and out, both his good traits and his bad. I would like him for his what I consider to be his good traits, but dislike the bad traits that he has that are similar to my own. Same as him. Think back. The Crooked Man tried to kill you. Tried to drag you with him. But on the other hand, weren't there people who relied on you? Who wanted your help? What? In other words, Sissy, D, and Fluffy are facets of the Crooked Man. He hated you, but he liked you. He thought he could share in suffering with you, so he was seeking your help. And that's why you met those people. That's what I'm thinking. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's right. It's not quite right. He wasn't seeking my help. He helped me. Got me back on my feet. Again, that's you and him being similar. What's up? There's something in my pocket. When did I pick this up? Probably while you were under the influence of the Crooked Man, if I had to guess. An address. And I don't think it's that far. I'm going. I have to meet him. You could always not. What if something happens? I feel like if I don't go, the Crooked Man will follow me forever. So I'm going. David. You come back to us safe. I don't want to go to my friend's funeral. Yeah. I know. Thanks. Scene 4. Central Hospital. Paul. End. I'm gonna go ahead and just bring us to this end game. So, yeah. Basically, David and the Crooked Man are, in essence, kindred spirits, which is why they were drawn to each other. And why they also seem to have mixed feelings about each other in themselves, if only subconsciously. This is the place. For sure. Could this be his house? I see a person. Excuse me. Can I have a second? What? Ain't seen you around. Going for a stroll? No, actually. Who lives here? Do you know them? Oh, you mean Mrs. McGahan? McGahan? Someone named McGahan lives here. Not anymore. Mrs. McGahan passed away last year. The house has been neglected ever since. Waste of a fine house it is. Oh yeah. I think she had a son. Wish he'd just rent it out or sell the house. Do you know anything about her son? Nah. Never seen him. I only moved here a few years back. Heard he lives in an apartment a ways away. I see. That all? I gotta be home by daybreak or my wife will be livid. Yes. Thanks a lot. It's good to take a walk in the morning, but it's sure cold. Don't catch a cold or nothing. Thanks. Take care. So long, sir. It wasn't much exposition, but it was of good help. So let's take a look around this place. A blue garbage can filled with rotten waste. The mailbox says McGahan. Must have been the resident's name. I can't even look at the rock. Nothing growing in the planter. It's locked. Well, I do have this. The bloody key I got from that cat in the hospital. And would you look at that? Turns out to be the house key. So, Crooked Man, it must have been you who killed those cats. I feel sorry for your life situation, but I mean, well, I did promise I would break the bones of whoever killed those cats, so I'm sorry, man. If I were you, I would kiss those perfectly unbroken bones of yours goodbye. A shoe shelf. Lots of musty women's shoes. There are clothes sitting in the water-filled washing machine. The toilet water reeks. A broken mirror. Feels like it was struck with something. That's 7 years bad luck, man. Fragments of a broken mirror. The shelves are lined with hairstyling products and face lotions. No water. And the bath water is muddy. It smells bizarre. Pieces of shattered plate. I see a notebook scrap up there. But first, let's see what's in here first. The floor is damaged. Found a scrap from a notebook. The hotel, the school, the hospital. It was the same at all of them. My sass memories wouldn't go away. Writing wouldn't settle my heart. In the end, my festering heart went. Part of the paper is torn. Mine is an empty existence. I have nothing to leave behind. Not even words. Cardboard boxes. Shelves are full of old junk. Shelves that have tools and cleaning equipment, so this is pretty much a storage closet. And here is a dining room and access and a walkway to a kitchen. An old telephone, no power, so you can't make any calls. Broken teacup. Toppled chair. Got a scrap from the notebook. I recalled the rhyme of the crooked man. All he could do was live in a crooked house, with a cat and a mouse just as crooked. I was the same way. Everything I wished for ended up crooked. My dreams, my love, even my family. How did the crooked man live? Was he sorrowful in the depths of despair? Such a life has no meaning. TV has a big crack in the screen. Well, that's unfortunate. The garbage can is filled with rotten waste. The stove is stained with burns and rust. Not much in the food in the refrigerator. Of course, it's all gone bad. It's early morning outside. There's a big gash on the wall. Well, who left the gash there? Fragments of a broken mirror. Broken mirror. The dresser is full of women's clothes. The drawers are half open. Must be Mrs. McGahan's room then. Closet door is half open. There are coats and such inside. There's a strange voice coming from the radio. Drawers are open, full of women's clothes. Some books are stacked on the dresser. It says they're albums, but there's not a single photo. Interesting. Found a scrap from a notebook. Why? 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 No, 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 no. Why and no what? What happened? A toppled lamp. The light bulb is shattered. Toppled clothes rack. A calendar for last year. There's a big X on it. Probably felt like crossing out the whole calendar because, well, hey, if you're just going to end it all, it'd be no point in just writing little X's all across the thing. You might as well just get it all out at once. An old telephone. It's early morning outside. A sooty fireplace. Toppled trash can. There's a few pieces of trash inside. A ladder. It looks like it goes to the attic, but the door doesn't open. The paintings fallen to the floor. Must have been hung on the wall before. Got a scrap from a notebook. Out of cigarettes. I need a smoke. Well, I got some. If I were to give you these cigarettes, would you leave me alone forever? I see a notebook. A black-covered notebook. The rule in this notebook matches the scraps I have. And we have the original notebook at last. Combined all the scraps. Got a notebook. There's a name on the back. Duke. Duke McGahan. You're crying. Well, we finally got a name for the crooked man. Duke McGahan. Atop a clothes rack. A man's jacket is hung on it. This must be Duke's room. Trash cans full of crumpled paper. A pile of paper scraps. They have very few words written on them. Well, what do they say? A pile of books on law. Yeah, this is definitely his room. There aren't many clothes in the closet. A few men's coats and suits. Fragments of a broken mirror. There's almost nothing in the desk. A deflated volleyball sits on top. Is he crying? Obviously he's crying. I don't think he's happy to see me. Crooked man. I can't end up like you. He's up there, isn't he? Then I'll be going there. This will be the end. Final showdown, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if I can, I'll try not to cheat this time. Gotta make this last little confrontation between us and the Crooked Man a little bit interesting. Alright, get down here, buddy. Ow. And of course he's got a new attack. Fuck. Damn it, I thought... Never mind. Forgot I already used that energy drink. Leave me alone, man! Oh, son of a bitch. He trapped me. Yeah, it's just gonna be tricky actually getting a chance to shoot the guy. Because he moves so fucking fast now. Okay, come on. Right on top of me! Oh shit. Come on, buddy. Come meet your maker. This is not good. I'm running low on health. Oh boy, I got him! I was scared there for a sec. Crooked man. I'm not going to be like you. You failed to catch me. As much misery as I encounter, as painful and bloody as it might be, I'll keep living. So, be gone! And we got daybreak. It's right down to my last quarter of health, too. Alright. Let's go see Duke. There's a door to the attic. You might be able to pry it open. Duke. He hung himself. That would also explain the crooked neck, wouldn't it? Duke. You detested me. Though I lived such a similar life, you hated how I lived comfortably. So, you wanted to drag me down, to take me with you. But didn't you want to be saved deep down? So, you called me. No, that's not right. You wanted to help me by constantly trying to wring your neck and choke the life out of you like a chicken. Hell of a way to help somebody going through a similar situation to you. Or well, yeah. To tell me, don't come the way I've come. Thank you. Nothing will make you suffer anymore. Where you're going. It's a good place. So. Now, you can rest in peace. You bet I'm gonna watch the ending. Wow. It must have been rough, David. Finding a corpse on your trip? But it sounds like it ended up all right. I'll go make some tea. He was beaten by the crooked man. He was dragged to the other side. The crooked man was always right behind me. I realized he was there. Every time I was sad, I felt like he was whispering to me. I knew if I acknowledged it, I was done for. So I tried not to think about it. If all this hadn't happened, I think sooner or later, I'd take his same path. So, don't feel bad, Paul. Your negligence in choosing a good home for David actually ended up saving his life in the end. So, instead of being the unwitting instigator of doom in this situation, you ended up being the unwitting instigator of hope and salvation. So, bravo. Thinking of it that way, he really did save me. Always such an easy target, aren't you? That's why you got dragged into this. It's fine. The crooked man is gone. Hello? Huh? Okay. I'll head right there. David? What's up? Who was it? The hospital. Mom's condition took a turn. They're going to have to do the operation. Take my bike. It'll be faster. You gotta go. Don't sit there staring. Doctor! Doctor! Mom's condition. To be honest, this is rather risky. Removing a tumor isn't too difficult, but she might not have the strength to. Doctor, please, my mom. She's the only family I have. Please. Sign this. We're getting ready now. Let me guess, a waiver? We'll do the best job we can. Okay. Doctor! Mom? The tumor was successfully removed. She's still sleeping now. We might have a chance if she wakes up. Tonight will be the biggest hurdle. Have faith in her. David? Mom! Oh, thank God. You woke up. You really... I felt like I was in darkness. I was scared. Screaming. I must have worried you. And those things I did to you. I'm so sorry. It was hard, wasn't it? It's okay. It's okay. You helped me open my eyes. Mom, I was so unhappy. I was just struggling to be happy. But I didn't give my mother the happiness she needed. After all the hardship I'd given her. I foolishly doubted. Thought I wasn't loved, wasn't needed. That's why Do you hate me for it? Don't be silly, David. Indeed, you and I both. It's hard to say we were always happy. But even in sad times, you were always honest. You lived a straight and honest life. Save for flight school. You never told her, did you? I was so proud of you. Having you as a son was my greatest happiness. Don't focus on the sad things. I'm sure you'll notice all the happiness hiding around you. Davy, I'm thirsty. Can you bring me some water? Sure. Just a second. Here you go, Mom. Mom? Mom? God, all the sad emotions are coming back. I'm so glad I don't do face cam right now. I probably look a bit silly. She got a good funeral. I'm sure your mother's happy now. You gotta be tired, huh, David? You okay? She told me she was happy in the end. If I'm going to live without blaming myself, those words are going to help a lot. It's fine if I have to suffer. If I can be smiling in the end. David. Marion? Why are you... Shirley? Why are you... Hey, Shirley, I still ain't forgiven you. How dare you give David the coal... Ow, 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 ow. At him. We're going. Okay. Stop pinching me. David. So we finally get to see you in person. Hello, Shirley. I heard about your mother. It's good you came, Shirley. Mom always liked you, so I bet she's glad. Thanks. David, I was anxious. I'm unsure of where I'm going. I'm worried that the road I'm walking will be full of twists and turns. Maybe I did need your kindness. You never let me down, but how did I repay you? I'm really the worst of the worst. I'm sorry. Maybe this is too late, but... David, if it's okay with you, would you like to... David? I'm sorry. Please, don't cry. No, I'm not sad. I'm just... Even though my dreams were crushed, and I just lost my only family, I'm just so happy you came back. It's okay, Shirley. However off-kilter things get, we'll set them straight. I promise you. David. You know what I think? The crooked man had a crooked body and only crooked things. But I'm sure he was happy living in his crooked house. I hope to see you again. Until then, rest in peace. Good end. Bye-bye, Blackbird. His mother's death had me crying the first time it happened, and well, I couldn't hold back some of the waterworks again here, especially because I knew it was coming. Especially right at the very moment, right when she just asked him to get him a glass of water. I think she just knew that she was about to die right then and there, and so she just sent David away so he wouldn't have to see her just pass away. I mean, yeah, I'm happy that, David got to move on with his life and everything, and, well, Duke managed to, in his own way, help him in the end, to help him move on with his life. And that, at the very least, his mother got to... I'm just going to finish my thought. That his mother got to recover in the end, that she had the tumor removed, and she was able to have one last conversation between her son as herself. But at the same time, though, her not surviving the operation in the end, it still hit me pretty hard, because, I mean, it really adds a bitter note to the rather sweet ending that David ended up managing to get for himself in the end. In other words, it really is a bittersweet ending, and sometimes bittersweet endings can hit me pretty hard, hit me harder than just a straight-up tearjerker of an ending can. Because, well, there's always like those those two notes here that just turn what would otherwise be a good ending for whatever it is I'm watching or playing into just something that's just, well, it makes me reflect on the whole experience more than anything else, really, because I'm always hoping that, that the best people get the best endings for themselves. So when it doesn't quite go their way, then it feels like a bit of a tease of fate, if you will. Like, we'll give you most of the things here that you have rightfully earned, but not quite all of it. Anyway, thank you for playing the Crooked Man. And congrats on the good ending. This is an extra page. You'll lose the page if you quit, so I recommend making a save. You can also begin a second playthrough here. About the second playthrough. The door at the top leads to a second playthrough. There's no change to story, battles, or choices, but some events near the ending change. Please try it if you're interested. Second play will be indicated. Playthroughs 3 and up have no changes. Well, luckily for me, I have a second playthrough file that I never quite finished. So before I was starting this Let's Play series, so what I did before recording this last episode was I resumed this old second playthrough file of mine and worked my way up to the very end part of the game. So after I'm done checking all this stuff in this black void out, I will load this file up and we can all see the slightly different things near the end that changed. That way we can just pretty much have everything completely and utterly covered. Both all the wrong ends, the normal good end, and the extra bonus scene from the second playthrough. And then I'll just consider this whole series officially done. About the series. This ends The Crooked Man, but I'd like to make a series of similar games. I hope you might play them when they come out. They'll be available on my blog. Well, so yeah, for those of you who don't know, The Crooked Man is the first game in a series called the Strange Men series by the game's developer. The sequel game would be the Sandman, followed by the Boogeyman, and no, not the Sandman is the last one. At least I think it is. Well, I don't remember them. I'm not. But yeah, there's like 4 games total in the Strange Men series, I think. And well, this is the first one, so yeah, anyone who obviously liked this game, well, there's sequel games to it. So maybe I'll probably end up covering at least the sequel game here, at some point, because I did play the sequel game to The Crooked Man, but I haven't played the other 2 games that take place after the second Strange Man game. So if I ever decide to cover those, they would be blind Let's Plays for me. Maybe I should consider doing that after I cover this, if I decide, but only if I decide to cover the second game. Because, I mean, it's part of a series, so I mean, if I'm going to cover any other games in a series, I might as well do all of them, you know? At least that's how I see it. Anyway, what's this third book say? About the game. The impetus to create the game came from a strange event that happened to a friend of the author. Writing it all would be too long a story, unfortunately. It might be available on my blog. This game is less scary than my last game, Paranoiac, but I considered having more action in this one. The author will be delighted if you enjoyed it. Again, thank you for playing. Well, I enjoyed it. You need a second playthrough here. Let's don't. So, that pretty much covers everything in here. Just 3 books and a door in a pitch black void. Now, let's go ahead and load my second playthrough file. Actually, no, wait, I don't want to save. Let's return to title. Yeah, let's load my second file. Wouldn't be bad if I accidentally saved over it. Would have boned myself big time. And let's see the one big change that the second playthrough has to this story. So I just finished off The Crooked Man once and for all here. At least I think I did. Yeah, I did. And we don't have any light. We don't have any light shining through the house after I finished him. So that's one major difference already. So I've never actually seen this part. I've never actually seen anything that happens beyond this point. So this is the one part of this whole playthrough that's where I'm going to be blind going in. So this will be a bit exciting for me. Let's open the door. Wow. You must be Duke, I presume? What? What are you doing here? Doing there? Can't you tell? I'm saying so long to this miserable life. My life was just empty. So I'm ending it by my own hand. Can you really say that? Do you really think your life was empty? Well, there must have been good things. There had to be. But when there's so much sadness and pain, it makes you forget there was anything good. So, I have no other choice. Aren't you the same way? It's true. I thought that way until very recently. Ever since I was detained for trying to kill my mom. But it's different now? Yeah. Why do you say that? Because I met someone. It was hard suffering all on my own. I wanted someone to understand it, to sympathize with me. I know this song too. My best friend worried for me, sure. But I felt like he was just saying things that he couldn't really understand. I just wanted to end it all. I tried not to think about it, but it kept coming back. It followed me everywhere. He suffered much like I had. He was rejected, his dreams were thwarted, and then his family. While trying to console him, I realized the things I said to him were what I wanted someone to have said to me. By trying to save him, I saved myself as well. And that's not all. Maybe he did despise me, but at the same time he tried to help. So I was able to make it this far, and what had been chasing me is gone now. Leave. Hey, you're wrong. This isn't out of despair. Seems like it to me. Just, I didn't want you here yet. I didn't think you should come. So, aren't there people waiting for you? You should just leave. It's true. Well, thank you for coming. For me, that's enough. I wish I could have known you sooner. Goodbye, Duke. Well, I'm curious. Is there going to be anything different from this point? It's been rough, David. Find a corpse on your trip? But it sounds like it ended up all right. I'll go make some tea. He was beaten by the crooked man. He was dragged to the other side. The crooked man was always right behind me. I realized he was there. Every time I was sad, I felt like he was whispering to me. I knew if I acknowledged it, I was done for. So, I tried not to think about it. I'm not seeing any differences in dialogue, so I'm going to keep moving on forward, but there's no differences beyond this point. I'll just cut right to after I finish the ending sequence again. If all this hadn't happened, I think sooner or later I'd take his same path. Think of it that way, he really did save me. So target on you. Okay, there's a difference right there. Hello, Duke. You know what I think? There was a crooked man. The crooked man had a crooked body and only crooked things. But I'm sure he was happy, living in his crooked house. Anything else? Yeah, I hope to see you again. Till then, rest in peace. Yeah, it looked like for a while as though after that one scene with between David and Duke in the attic here, it looked like as though there was really nothing different until, boom, there he was. Right as David and Shirley were basically getting back together. So I just stopped reading aloud after a while, because it looked to me like as though nothing was going to change. But no, it looks like there was just that one last little difference after that one scene in the attic. I'm not exactly sure that just these two differences in and of themselves are quite enough to justify a second playthrough of the game. I mean, hey, they're interesting to check out regardless. But honestly, I'll probably need some time to think about this. For a while before I ultimately decide what my final opinion on the matter is. But I think maybe I prefer the original ending. Hello. Yeah, I think I might prefer the original scene from the first playthrough more than the second here, but only by a very slight margin. Mainly because I guess because, well, Duke's demise here, circumstances behind it and everything just had more impact when you just found the corpse, and, well, just it relied more on subtext, I guess, as David was just reflecting on his whole journey and his encounters with the Crooked Man in order to basically figure out just what Duke actually wanted from him at the very end after the Crooked Man was gone. But I mean, the second alternate scene was pretty good too, though. So anyway, thank you for playing the Crooked Man through a second time, and congrats on the good ending. As a bonus, character profiles have been added. Check them if you're interested. Definitely in stark contrast to most Corpse Party games, where instead of just giving you the character bios right from the start or near the start, they wait until the very end to give them to you in this. Although, as far as I'm aware anyway, the developer of this game is not in any way affiliated with Team Gris from the Corpse Party series or anything of the sort, so, I mean, I don't know why I even bothered to think of that comparison. David Hoover, 26-year-old clerk, lives with his weak mother. Kind and gets attached easily. Not always reliable, but gets it done, says Paul. Thanks, Paul, for calling me unreliable. Dick. If anything, you're the unreliable one for recklessly allowing your friend to move into a haunted apartment in the first place, even if it actually ended up helping him in the long run, all things considered. But that was totally an accident. There was no way anyone could have really predicted how that would all have turned out. So, yeah, it would. I mean, you were just lucky that nothing bad happened to him in the end. Friends with Paul since middle school, got to know Marion through Paul. Dated Shirley for 3 years, prepared for marriage. After the game, they began dating again. Good on you, David. Shirley Weber, 25-year-old pharmacist, David's girlfriend. Strong-willed, doesn't much suit Paul. Oh, you don't like strong women, Paul? Best friends of Marion since high school. She wondered if David's kindness was indecisiveness and was anxious what would happen if they married. She wanted to get back together but didn't say it. Never got along with Paul at all. Yeah. Somehow I can actually picture you not being able to get along with Paul, even though we knew very little of your actual personality. Somehow I think I just know. Paul Martin, 26-year-old trading company manager. You're a trading company manager? Pompous and forceful with everything. Best friends with David since middle school. Wooed Marion in college, and now they're married. What'd you do to woo her? Tell me your secrets, Paul. Has a sixth sense, though maybe he can only see and or hear ghosts. After David moved, he thought things were off, but he didn't say anything. Yeah, thanks, Paul, Mr. Reliable. What would an unreliable friend like me ever do without a totally reliable friend like you? Marion Martin, 25-year-old housewife. Paul's wife, 2 months pregnant. Oh, you're pregnant. Okay. She became friends with David via Paul. Knew Shirley in high school, now a close friend. A skeptic, because the occult is scary. She doesn't believe in Paul's sixth sense. Hearing from Shirley about David, she became very worried for him. Okay, I guess that's it. Been a second playthrough here, but I'm already on a second playthrough. So yeah, I guess that's everything for real this time. In that case, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut things off here. Actually, I think there's a little more I can say about the game before I do that. So, yeah, I remember first being introduced to this game about half a decade ago. Back when a friend and I watched Markiplier do a Let's Play of it back in the day. We both liked the game, and I decided to download it and play it for myself afterward, and well... Yeah, I mean, I think that was also around the time that I was introduced to RPG Maker horror games as a subgenre of RPG Maker games. So, in a sense, The Crooked Man was basically my first RPG Maker horror game. So, coming back to it after all these years was a bit nostalgic, to say the least. Both for the game and the story itself, and for, well, good old Markamu's playthrough of it, along with me and my friends my friends' enjoyment of his covering of it. I think I watched his Let's Play of the sequel game too. But at the very least, I knew after I've seen his playthrough of The Crooked Man, and I've learned of the existence of RPG Maker horror games, I became interested in the subgenre as a whole, and so I looked into it a little bit more after that. course, I'm not familiar with a lot of the more popular ones, but I do know that there are a few RPG Maker horror games here with substantial cult followings here and there. I think one's called Iki, another one is Ib, and there's of course the Strange Men series here. And then of course, early last year, sometime last year, I learned of the existence of the Corpse Party series, so there was that as well. And anything else? Yeah, I'm sure there's a few games here I'm forgetting. But yeah, I'm aware of the existence of a lot of RPG Maker horror games, but I haven't played a whole lot of them. I just basically played like a handful of them, and then I guess I just lost interest for a little while or something, or more likely other games that I was interested in at the time ended up taking my time away from RPG Maker horror games, and then before I knew it, I haven't really played them much at all until I decided to do a Let's Play of Corpse Party Blood-Covered Repeated Fear. And well, here I am again playing RPG Maker horror games. Well, after that Let's Play anyway. So, yeah. But yeah, I guess one of the reasons why I find RPG Maker horror games fascinating is because you're taking a type of engine that's designed for simple RPG games and basically repurposing it in some way in order to make a horror game out of it. Whether it be just having a straight up RPG game with a horror story, or just simply taking out regular turn-based RPG combat out of the equation altogether and finding ways to rework the engines and gameplay segments into feeling more like an adventure game of sorts, similar to a lot of horror games. So it's kind of, yeah, it's like just looking at an exercise and finding ways to be creative with a very inherently limited engine type compared to, I don't know, something like Unity or something. Some kind of 3D modeling engine that if you knew what to do with it, would allow you a great deal more flexibility than what a simple little RPG Maker style engine could give you. In other words, I liked looking into RPG Maker horror games because I was interested to see how creative the people who made them could get with the limited engines they had to work with. And it was always a delight to find a game here that really shone through despite the limited engine. And well, one of those games just, well, happened to be the Crooked Man here. And in recent memory, the Corpse Party games. Sans my current Let's Play of Corpse Party Book of Shadows, which is basically more like a visual novel game with adventure game elements, but, well. But that's, I lost my train of thought. In fact, while that train is running off to God knows where, I think it'd probably be best for me to just go ahead and cut things off here. I think I've rambled on long enough. So, I'm done reminiscing for at least for now. And yeah, I hope those of you who decided to check this series out enjoyed it. If you did, then you want to see more content from me, then well, feel free to subscribe to my channel either on YouTube or on BitChute. I'm always posting content on both of those channels. And I will see you guys for my next series if you decide to stick around. So take care.